On this week's episode of Hell's Kitchen, the chefs are provided to grill different types of proteins for the challenge. After a losing streak of 4 challenges, one team finally wins a challenge. Dinner service for one team is a catastrophe. And spoiler alert, Dahmere has another excellent service and and a and I think the most deserved elimination so far this season occurs because I'll get to in a minute. But because we've got so much to talk about in this week's Hell's Kitchen recap and review. So just before we get into the whole review and recap, I just want to say to everyone in the UK, happy Remembrance Day, happy Remembrance Day because it's the day. This is the day that we remember the soldiers who fought for our country in World War Two. So many soldiers lost their lives during the devastation of the World War, and it's Armistice Day, I think it's also called. But anyways, this is like the time of the month of the year and of the year, the 11th day, the 11th month, the 11th hour. We remember the men who fought our country. In the World War, and that they fought for the war, and it's just so special that we remember them from everything that they've done to serve our country and got us through a huge war between the countries, and they sacrificed their lives for us. So so I just want to point that out as this is me kind of recording this on the Saturday, and I'm in such a rush because The Voice is on an hour and 15 minutes roughly. Uh, Roughly, so I'm literally just rushing everything right now. I was supposed to do this yesterday, but I didn't have enough time, so I'm really rushing now. So let's just get into it because we've got so much to talk about. So nothing really happened special in the postmodern, going back to the dorms. But anyways, let's just get into it because we've got quite a bit to talk about. So the challenge for today was for the teams to be tasked with grilling various type of proteins such as flat iron steak, chicken breast, chicken thigh, swordfish, trout, and tri-tip steak, whatever that is, and elevate them into a gourmet level. And we had a guest judge, which was Aaron Franklin, from but I can't remember where he's from, but I think Lee even mentioned she watched his MasterChef type videos or something like that. But anyways, he was offering most favourable reviews to each chef aside from the minor critics about the texture of the appearance. But ultimately, finally, after about a 4 challenge losses now. Excuse me. At least I think so. I think it's 4 challenges. Three. So yeah, 4 challenge losses. Okay. Okay. I need to double check down my head because I didn't know if I miscounted or not. But anyways, they finally won the challenge, meaning, and they won 2 for 5, which is kind of they won 5-2. So either they had some crap dishes, or they was it was just given by a slight edge. So because I think it was well deserved because I honestly thought it was gonna be another streak for the men. They keep winning challenges and the women keep losing. As I feel, but at least the women won something, in a way. But yeah. Okay, let's just get into it. So the reward. So the reward. Oh, it's my screen showing that. Is it? Oh, I know it's not. Okay, it's just my. I had a notification tab, some tabs, like a thing. Anyways, I don't think you saw it. But anyways, the women won the challenge and they were rewarded to go to the arcade, which is to be in fact Dave and Buster's, which I've never heard of it, but it looks like it's an arcade. And let me tell you, I love the arcade. I love going to the arcade. Every time I go bowling with my mates, we love to go in the arcade at the end because the bowling alley that I go to in Essex, especially in Braintree, is near a shopping centre called. It's near a shopping centre, and it's so you go in. It's near the cinema. So it's cinema and a bowling alley. It's right opposite. It's right opposite each other. And honestly, the arcade there is clean. I love a yeah. Excuse me. So anyways, so they went to the arcade and had a did they have they had a meal, I believe. They had an outdoor lunch, and while the men for I think their first punishment. I think they had to clean the grills for the challenge. That were actually gifted for the women and then prep for service. But what made it worse is that they had to use a toothbrush. They had to use a toothbrush to clean the grills, which is like, oh, that is painful to. I think even Dahmere said, not Dahmere, Jermaine said something like, "You know how hard it is to scrub a grill with a toothbrush." And yeah, it was painful to see. I bet it was so difficult. And then Jason even admitted, it's fine that we're doing this. I'm happy. I'd rather be doing this than play video games. So I'm pleased that we lost. Which I must say, I know I don't really like Jason. I said this countless times. I don't like Jason at all. But I mean, I understand. I mean, he is accepting it, which is good. But um, I feel like Jason was like he wanted to lose. He wanted to like lose his challenge because I think he's like, I don't care. I'm happy we lost the challenge. I'm glad we get to do it. Which, I mean, I understand arcades and video games aren't everyone's type, but still, this is still a great reward to go on. I love an arcade, and I'd be jealous. I'd be upset if I couldn't go. And also, Jonathan didn't actually get to give his say if he gets to do his punishment pass or not. And I don't know if they edited that out because they must have got to edit that in. I don't know why they didn't put that in. So it's kind of unsure why. But anyways, let's just get into service, shall we? So service, if it's gonna load, because sometimes there we go. Oh, there we go. There we go, because it could be a little bit laggy. So let's get to dinner service. We start with the blue team as always. And the blue team service was, it was not. It was a disaster. I think so. Let's just get into it because despite maybe the promising start by Jason and Jonathan on the appetizers, the men really lost the momentum, and really it was really I'll get to me in a minute because he was really vocal to everyone. I must say. And it was really due to Jermaine's inability to stay on top of the garnish station, and he was failing to communicate ticket times in the quarantines and something. But anyways, basically, Jermaine had just completely crashed and burned. He had a disaster service, and even and even last episode, he even didn't admit to his mistakes, so that kind of bit him in the butt. And and then we had Devon on the meat station, and he failed to produce the correct number of portions needed for each ticket, and he served a raw steak to Gordon. And let me tell you, if I had a picture, I'd show you, but it was raw, like the most rawest lamb I think I've seen on Hell's Kitchen. Like it was still like oinking, something like that to a word. And then Gordon had enough, and he kicked all the men out the kitchen for the disastrous service. And easily it was Jermaine and Devon, the train wreck. Now Dahmere. Now we got to talk about this because I thought this was excellent. Because Dahmere was the only really shining star on that service. He was vocal. He was very he promoted. He had passion. He had heart. And even Gordon said so. Basically, whilst they were walking back to the dorms, Gordon was like, "Dahmere, come here for a second." And then he said that something like, "Oh, you were the only chef in there that really impressed me. You had passion. You had heart. You had a voice in there. You communicated well." And so and then he said, I'm relying on you now to go upstairs and nominate 2 people to go home because you are easily the best of the worst tonight. It's all in your hands. You impressed me this service, and I'm telling you, Dahmere has been on fire lately. He has really come ever since the block pasta situation. He has just, especially in the last episode, he has come full rocket blasting into service. And I didn't think I was going to say this, but if he continues like this in continuing in the competition, I think he could be the contender to win this whole thing. Honestly, I actually mean it. I actually thought he'd be the Black Jackets, but now I think he could win this whole thing. and at first I was between Ryan and Jonathan, but I think Damir's really overshadowing Ryan. Ryan's getting really overshadowing. He's kind of like fading away a little bit, and now Damir's just like, I'm here now. It's my turn to shine. And so, it's great that Damir is doing this. And I think between him and Jonathan would be actually, you know what? I'm gonna make a bet now. I'm gonna bet my money on saying this. I'm gonna call this now. From this point on, um, the 11th of November, 2023. That's the date right now. I'm gonna call right now saying Dahmere and Jonathan are going to be the final two chefs standing. It's going to be Dahmere and Jonathan in the final. That's what I am betting my whole money on saying that. I'm betting everything when I'm saying. I actually mean that as well when I say that, because now I thought it was going to be like Ryan and Jonathan, but now I feel like Jonathan. I mean, Jonathan's a lock for me in the finals, but I think Dahmere is going to kind of do that. So I actually think, I think it's going to be them two. I think so. It's going to be them two. But anyways, let's get to the Drake team. By the way, we had Rick Harrison on the men, and we had G Easy on the women's side. And can I just say, I love the fact Gordon and gave G Easy, he gave Gordon a fist bump, and they basically just got the fist bump, because normally Gordon normally shake hands with people, give a little hug, kind of like that. But no, he actually gave him like a fist bump, which I think was so cool. And I don't know if he's got like OCD or anything. He doesn't like being touched, like actually like hands on hands, stuff like that. But anyways, Sammy was just an absolute like, she was having a romantic breakdown, because like she was trying to keep her composure. She was like, oh, what a sexy man he is. And so I just think it was just so sweet. He looks very handsome as well. But anyways, now Sandra returned to the meat station, and she had a pretty good evening overall. I think there was like only one issue where I think she served and because the previous, so she had an inconsistent service, and I thought she'd be the boot tonight. But no, she bounced back on the meat station, and she kind of like, and the women had a good service overall. So they were clearly the best of the worst. They were clearly the winning team. So yeah, and then the men were pretty pissed off. And I saw Ryan, and Ryan also walked off. Now I don't know why Ryan did that, but I don't know. Was it because what Dahmere said about him, what Gordon said? I don't know. Like, I'm going to have to, figure that out later. But anyways, let's get to the nomination ceremony. As Dahmere was best of the worst, and rightfully so. He is just, yeah, as I said, I think one of the best chefs, along with Jonathan, on the blue team right now. So let's just get into it, because it was pretty obvious. So we had Jermaine and Devon as the nominations. It's pretty obvious right there, right there, and so basically, they were given a plea asking and what's who was the weakest chef. And Jermaine, he didn't even say anything. I think he said something in the end. He was like, I can't even choose this. And then I was like, there was like a dead silence. And in my head, I was like, just name someone. I don't get who. Just name someone. I bet Gordon was like that as well in his head. Like, just like, look, Jermaine, can you just say something? I don't care who you say. And then Devon, I think he said he was the weakest. And no surprise, Jermaine was the one who was sent home, who the main reason the men's collapsing, and I feel like he was shutting down after falling to be an acid on the team no longer. And I'm sorry to say, but this was rightfully deserved. He completely crashed and burned this episode. He really did. This was not a good night for him whatsoever. So, and also Devon got so lucky because I think I felt this could have been a double elimination. I actually thought he was going to send both of them home, because that could have been a big possibility. But anyways, we're now getting down to the halfway point of the competition now, so I'm excited to see who goes on top. So that's it for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. My prediction for next week, I believe the Cook for Your Life challenge means one, there's no service, but I'm excited to see what happens. And I think now, I just want to say something quickly about the preview, because I think they are so misleading, because it was shown at Toya and Carmen having a cat fight, not actual fight, but like, and um and I think then we had Gordon in his office, and then the chef coming in, those two chefs coming in, I think one at a time, and it looked like, next to each other, and then Gordon was saying one of you has to leave Hell's Kitchen, because it was like they're having a fight, and Gordon found out what happened is like one of you has to leave because this, but no, it's not happening. It's not like that. It's just the valuation, and he normally says that at the Cook for Your Life challenge. One of you sadly has to go because you're weak dish. But yeah, that's really it. I think who I think is going to be going home. I think it's between, depending what Sandra does. If she has a good like day next week, I think she'll stay and Devon will go. But if she has a rocky episode, I think Sandra will go, and Devon on the cut, just by the cusp, he'll go. But anyways, that's really it for this review. Thank you so much for watching this review. And like I said, I think Dahmere and Johnson's gonna be the final two chefs standing. I think it's gonna be them in the finals. So thank you so much for watching. Please comment with post notifications turned on. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week for our next Hell's Kitchen recap and review.